Let me start with a question that might sound strange at first. What if gods were never meant to be worshipped, but remembered? The Maya had God that doesn't fit comfortably into modern categories. Not a sky god, not an earth god, not purely human, not purely animal. They called him Kukulkan, a feathered serpent. Already, your brain should pause here, because this creature is impossible. Snakes crawl, birds fly. One belongs to the ground, the other to the sky. Kukulkan does both, and that's the first clue that we're not dealing with a god in the simple sense. Let me be clear about my limits before we go any further. I'm not claiming Kukulkan was an alien, a time traveler, or a misunderstood scientist. I'm not here to sell you mysteries. What I am saying is this. Kukulkan represents a way of thinking that modern culture has largely lost. The Maya didn't separate myth, science, and history, they layered them. Kukulkan appears in stone, in calendars, in architecture, and in ritual timing. He's not just a character in stories, he's embedded in systems. Take Chichen Itza. Twice a year, during the equinox, sunlight casts a shadow down the pyramid staircase, forming the body of a serpent that appears to descend from the heavens. No magic, no superstition, just mathematics, astronomy, and architectural precision. Now ask yourself this honestly. Why would a civilization invest that level of accuracy into honoring a symbolic animal? Because Kukulkan wasn't just a god of fertility or wind, he was a teacher. According to later traditions, Kukulkan brought knowledge, agriculture, calendars, laws, writing. He civilized humanity. Does that sound like a storm god? Or does it sound like a memory of a transition from chaos to order? Here's where we need to slow down and think cross-disciplinarily. In evolutionary biology, one of the biggest leaps in human history was abstract thinking, the ability to plan seasons ahead, track cycles, and predict outcomes. In mythology, Kukulkan embodies exactly that, foresight. A serpent sheds its skin, it renews itself. Feathers symbolize ascension, vision, perspective. Put them together, and you get a symbol of cyclical renewal guided by higher awareness. That's not primitive thinking, that's compressed philosophy. And here's the part that usually gets ignored. Kukulkan is not unique. The Aztecs had Quetzalcoatl. The Toltecs had a similar figure. Even in other cultures, serpents represent knowledge, time, and transformation. Different names, same structure. Which raises a dangerous question. What if these myths aren't independent inventions, but echoes of a shared human realization? That time is not linear, that knowledge must be passed forward, that civilizations survive by remembering patterns. Now imagine this as a film scene. A city of stone, jungle creeping at the edges, priests watching the sky, not to pray, but to calculate. The sun hits a precise angle, the serpent appears. The crowd doesn't cheer, they recognize. Because this isn't entertainment, it's confirmation. The calendar still works, the order still holds. Time hasn't broken. Kukulkan doesn't demand sacrifice like other gods. That alone should make you suspicious. Instead, he demands alignment, right season, right behavior, right understanding. He's less interested in obedience, more interested in competence. And that should challenge our assumptions about ancient religion. What if gods like Kukulkan weren't tools of control, but mnemonic devices, living symbols designed to encode complex knowledge into stories that could survive centuries without books? Now let's get uncomfortable. The Spanish chroniclers described Kukulkan as a benevolent, almost Christ-like figure. Why? Because it made conversion easier. If Kukulkan already taught morality, then Christianity could claim continuity instead of destruction. History is not neutral. Myths get edited. So when we talk about Kukulkan, we're not just decoding Maya belief, we're peeling back layers of reinterpretation, colonization, and selective memory. Chronology matters. Early Kukulkan is abstract, cosmic. Later Kukulkan becomes moralized, simplified, softened. That's not evolution of belief, that's compression for control. And now let me turn the lens back on us. We live in a world obsessed with progress, yet disconnected from cycles. We track time in minutes, not seasons. We plan growth without renewal. The Maya would have called that dangerous. Kukulkan is a reminder that knowledge without rhythm collapses systems. So here's my challenge to you. Don't ask whether Kukulkan was real. Ask why so many civilizations encoded wisdom into serpents. Ask why architecture was aligned with the sky. Ask why modern culture treats myth as fiction instead of data. And most importantly, do your own research. Look at the equinox shadows, study the calendars, compare the symbols across cultures, because Kukulkan doesn't speak anymore, but the patterns are still there, waiting to be recognized.